At 4:16 a.m., pre-med student Sudiksha Konanki was last seen walking towards the beach, accompanied by a young man. The scene, captured in blurry yet unsettling footage, shows the two moving away, appearing to enjoy themselves. However, the dramatic twist comes when, at 8:54 a.m., the same young man reappears alone, shirtless, and walking slowly back to his room. There is no trace of Sudiksha. What happened during those hours? How is it possible that no one noticed her absence until her friends returned from an excursion? This is the starting point of a case that has shaken both the student community and the authorities of two different countries. The man identified in the videos is Joshua Stephen Ribe, a 24-year-old former high school wrestler with an imposing physique, often described as hulking. According to sources close to the investigation, he has cooperated with Dominican police, but he has not been formally charged with any crime. Still, the fact that he was the last person seen with Sudiksha has placed him at the center of suspicions, especially after providing versions of the events that, to some, seem inconsistent. Ribe claims that they decided to go for a swim that night when a strong wave caught them. He says he managed to reach the shore but felt so dizzy from drinking alcohol that he ended up vomiting and falling asleep on a beach chair. When he woke up, Sudiksha was gone. That is not the only concerning detail about this young man, although Dominican authorities insist that he is not officially considered a suspect. They have withheld his passport and, according to media reports, are also awaiting legal authorization to analyze his phone. So far, Ribe's cooperation appears to be voluntary, and there has been no official statement directly linking him to any criminal act. However, Sudiksha's father and other close family members are not willing to accept the drowning explanation without question, and they wonder if Ribe or other witnesses might know more than they are revealing. The missing young woman, Sudiksha Konanki, was 20 years old and a pre-med student at the University of Pittsburgh. She was on a spring break vacation with a group of friends at the famous Rio Repubblica resort in Punta Cana, a place well known for its all-inclusive packages and 24-hour open bar service. For many American college students, it is an opportunity for non-stop partying. For parents, however, it could sometimes be an overwhelming concern. According to the reconstructed timeline, she and her friends were spending the night drinking and enjoying the resort's attractions. By 5:55 a.m., most of her companions had decided to return to their rooms, leaving Sudiksha and Ribe alone on the beach. From that moment on, the official version from Dominican authorities leans towards an accident. Specifically, they claim that the most likely cause of disappearance is drowning. However, not everyone believes that theory. Sudiksha's father, Sudiksha Konanki, has publicly stated that he finds it hard to believe that his daughter could have been swept away by the ocean without her body washing ashore in the following days. He holds on to the suspicion that something darker might have happened, perhaps an abduction or a crime that security cameras failed to capture in its entirety. This skepticism is shared by private investigator T.J. Ward, known for his involvement in the high-profile Natalie Holloway case in 2005. Ward has stated that the drowning theory was reached too quickly, arguing that, under these conditions, the sea usually washes bodies ashore within a matter of days. The timeline of events has also been clouded by inconsistencies. The resort's surveillance system had the wrong time recorded, later discovered to be set 1 hour ahead. This meant that the video showing Sudiksha heading to the beach at 5:16 a.m. was actually recorded at 4:16 a.m. This small but crucial error forced investigators to adjust the sequence of events. What remains clear, however, is that after returning from the beach, Sudiksha's friends either went to sleep or left for a morning excursion. It was not until around 4 p.m. that they realized she had not been seen for hours and that her phone and personal belongings were still with them. Something strange, considering her father claimed she never went anywhere without them. Upon returning to the resort and confirming that no one had seen Sudiksha for hours, they immediately alerted the authorities. From that moment on, a large-scale search operation was launched, including ground patrols, helicopter flyovers, and boats scanning the coastline for any clues. Dominican police have maintained the drowning hypothesis, insisting that the beach where the disappearance occurred is notorious for strong currents and previous drowning incidents. However, The Indian Embassy's involvement and the FBI's collaboration have added an international dimension to the investigation, as Sudiksha was an Indian citizen and a permanent U.S. resident. Additionally, the sheriff of Loudoun County, Virginia, where the young woman lived, has provided logistical support and remains closely informed about the case. Although theories overwhelmingly lean towards a tragic drowning accident, not everyone is convinced. Several critical questions remain unanswered. What really happened between 5:55 a.m. and 8:54 a.m.? Why didn't her friends notice her absence earlier? Is it realistic to believe that Ribe, after being swept away by a wave, simply fell asleep without seeking help or alerting anyone? Could Sudiksha have walked away on her own and encountered a different kind of danger, such as an abduction or a violent act? These unanswered questions keep the family's hope alive, pushing them to demand a deeper investigation, even if that means scrutinizing Ribe's life more closely. Adding to the uncertainty is the testimony of a private investigator who refuses to rule out any possibility. "I firmly believe someone knows something," he stated in a televised interview. The dilemma remains. There is no direct evidence of a crime so far, nor has Sudiksha's body been found, and ocean currents in Punta Cana are unpredictable. In previous statements, Dominican police have argued that Ribe's accounts, while seemingly inconsistent due to alcohol consumption, are not sufficient evidence to formally charge him. However, that is not enough to ease the fears of a family who refuse to rule out the possibility that Sudiksha is still alive somewhere, or that she was the victim of something far more sinister. With each passing day without new leads, the case remains stuck in speculation. Many of the college students who traveled with her have already returned to the U.S., resuming their classes and daily routines, while her parents remain in the Dominican Republic searching for answers. The resort, according to some reports, has fully cooperated, providing surveillance footage and allowing investigators to examine common areas. However, there is no camera footage directly capturing the beach, leaving a crucial gap with no electronic witnesses. The mystery remains unsolved. A tragic accident or something much darker? The question lingers, not only in her family's minds, but in the minds of everyone following the case. The security footage showing Sudiksha at 4:16 a.m., carefree and walking towards the beach with a man she barely knew, contrasts sharply with the 8:54 a.m. footage, him returning alone, shirtless, and looking downward. That 4.5-hour gap is the key to everything, and so far, no one has been able to fully explain it. As authorities continue their investigation, suspicions continue to grow, in part due to the lack of conclusive evidence. On one hand, the official theory remains the most likely. The young woman, in low visibility conditions and possibly under the influence of alcohol, was dragged by a deadly wave, vanishing into the ocean's depths. On the other, the family believes something else happened, whether an assault, an abduction, or a violent act whose traces have yet to be revealed. With each wave crashing onto the shore, hope and fear mix in equal parts. The resolution of this story, whatever it may be, will ultimately determine whether this is a tragic accident or a sinister case still hidden beneath the silence of the night and the turbulent waters of Punta Cana. Until then, one crucial question remains. What happened during those hours on the beach, and who holds the key to unlocking the truth?